My fellow samurai, my name is Ethos. I am the creative director for Samurai.Zero, and today I wanted to start the first of hopefully many videos where we call them Feedback.Zero. It is going to be a unique series where we will be taking questions that we gathered from the period of time after we release a devlog and just social media and our fellow backers on Patreon, and give you a sort of personalized answer to a lot of these questions. So my fellow community manager, Eric, who's the GOAT, he went through a lot of our social media and our comment sections, and he has gathered a good amount of questions that I will be answering for you guys. Some questions that we didn't pick either because we felt like it's too early for us to answer those questions, or we just didn't really feel like there's a need for that answer right now. But I feel like we are going to hit on quite a few very important topics. So
For sure.
fire away, I guess.
All right, so we saw glimpses in the trailer and all that of a manga. So where can we find this manga?
Yeah, so the manga that you actually saw, that was actually done in the concept of creating the reveal trailer. So if you look at that trailer video that we created, the behind the scenes video, what you'll see is the way that we designed it was usually what happens is in development is people will create storyboards. We wanted to instead do something a little bit different and unique. So we created a manga sequence of basically what the reveal trailer became. Of course, there were changes from the manga to the final product, but for the most part, the flow stayed the same. What we want to do is expand on that and through like our short stories and one-shots, which are simply like one-page manga pages where they're just little quirky little things just to expand a little bit on characterization and a little bit on the world, and then maybe some more in-depth ones with multiple pages, maybe a volume serialization. That's stuff that we're looking into. So we don't have anything set as in like an actual like volume serialization yet, but we are going to be doing smaller little projects in and out to allow you guys to have just a good amount of cool manga access.
Of course, we're going to talk a little bit more in the future about when and where you can see it.
Yeah.
Obviously, our Patreon backers do get early looks at those,
Yep.
but they will eventually be out for everybody.
Yep. And I'll be on probably the Samurai.Zero website. We'll make a home for it.
So up next, will we start seeing any more technical devlogs with mechanics and codings and things like that?
Yes. So by the time you're seeing this video, if you didn't know or you've become aware, we did do the first live stream of me, unfortunately, doing some development. I was doing a little bit of UI, and Eric was also there.
Yep.
And we were working a little bit on the main menu system that we were going to use for the placeholder for right now for Samurai.Zero. And it was actually really cool. A lot of people actually stopped by the stream. It was really awesome to see you guys interact and actually enjoy watching it. So we're definitely gonna do that a lot more. Also for the upcoming devlog, which will be focused on networking, that one's gonna be very technical compared to the last one, which was more high level. I think the technical one's going to be a little more deeper. Our programmer this time around is going to have a lot of additional material, including some possible like tutorials or just overviews of these certain systems that you'll be able to have access to if you're curious on learning a little bit more about the coding aspect of that. But we try to make the devlogs more simple, high level overviews because we don't want to just slam like a bunch of non-technical people with the technical jargon just so they can get the high level of like what we were working on that previous month. But there will be moments in between those logs and also inside of those logs that will push a little bit of technical know-all. Yeah.
Awesome. So kind of switching gears a little bit, we've got a lot of feedback asking about is there different classes in the game, and maybe you can talk to us a little bit more about the Samurai's unique skill sets.
Yeah, so it's not class-based. I don't think that when we were designing the game, we were ever thinking about making all the samurai be like grouped and categorized in specific classes. I think I look at every single character in the game that you play in Samurai.Zero as their own entity in themselves, and the way that you can customize them is a way that you can kind of make them fit certain, like let's say archetypes, so like a tank or more of an attack-based person or support. Of course, that doesn't mean that all of them are going to be excel in these areas. So I guess in some area some people will, when they get their hands on the game, may categorize certain characters, and that's perfectly fine. We're not going to stop you from doing that, but we're going to try to stray away from like pushing certain characters into certain roles and saying you have to have this. This is not a MOBA. This is not a game that requires you to have specific classes and comps in order for you to work. We want the community to experiment with it and come up with their own meta for the game, which then we'll hopefully build around and make modifications and enhance and make nerfs and however that goes about. So no to classes. There are no classes, but there is customization with each character. Think of it as there's a cast of characters and you're going to be able to pick any of those characters that you like, and you'll be able to further dig deep and modify them and customize them a little bit more to fit your playstyle. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So kind of building off of customizing your character.
Yeah.
Is it really going to be a melee only focus, or is there going to be a lot more ranged combat? What's the mix kind of feeling like?
True. Yeah, so design wise, we don't have anything set yet, like physically to show you guys yet, but there are certain design things that have been put forward about experimenting with ranged combat. There is a heavy focus on melee. A lot of the characters, if not all of them, use some form of a melee weapon, a sword, a spear, something in that aspect. So most of the characters will be utilizing a sort of melee form. But what I can tell you now is the third samurai, Luna, she's sort of a hybrid. So some of her special abilities and skills that she has access to, these are actually ranged abilities. I think Wraith as well, you probably saw a little bit in the reveal trailer, he throws kunai, so that can be technically categorized as a ranged attack. So there is a mixture of both of these things, and the big thing that we're just focusing on is making sure there's a balance. So there's not necessarily kiting that's going on in the game, so it's not like a ranged person can just stay away from melee people, just keep hitting them over and over again and disrupting them to prevent them from ever getting close. We want to discourage that type of behavior, and instead we'll be putting things in place where we want people to use both range and melee combined together in order to take down their opponent. So we're trying to make the two synergize each other and not go butt heads with each other. So yeah,
awesome.
That's pretty much it.
So last question I saw a lot was asking what kind of game modes is it? Is it like 1v1? Is there duels? What's the main mode of play we're kind of aiming for?
Right. So the main mode of play right now is 1v1. That's currently what you're going to probably see in devlog 2s. We're right now building, currently make sure 1v1s work, which is our duel mode. So if you're the type who wants, just who's a lone wolf or just wants that, that 1v1, you 1v1 me on Rust type of vibe, that's what we're going to be providing you with this type of game mode. There will be a sort of team mode, but I don't want to give a specific number yet on what that number looks like for the team mode, because again, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into this, and as well as balancing wise, we don't have that sweet number yet, but I promise you, once we know what that sweet number is, we will let you know right away. So yeah.
Yep, so that about wraps it up from most common questions we've really gotten this past couple weeks.
Yeah.
So like Marlo said, we'll be looking forward to doing these a lot more often. Hoping just to get out the information as quick as we can.
Yeah, and also a big thing as well, stay indoors. It's very important.
Absolutely.
The coronavirus it's crazy out here. Right now, luckily, a lot of us are remote, so we're still able to work on the game, but development has been slowed down a little bit because of this, and because of where everyone currently is. There's just a lot of different situations. So this next devlog is going to be a little bit difficult for us because we're hitting a very technical place, so you might not see a lot of straight up content per se, or a lot of things that you can visibly count.
Right.
But what we're doing is actually massive an undertaking, especially for a small team like us. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just look forward to the next log. I'm excited for it. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be pretty excited for it. Make sure you follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anything else, all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Sounds good.
All right. Cool.
See you later.
See you guys later.
How many would this be, Ray?
One step forward, 2 steps back.
Why keep what you've learned about the city of glass? You tell me as soon as I catch up to you.